Hello and welcome to the shop. A few weeks back, Cody Elliott, the West Virginia fisherman over on YouTube, contacted me and asked me if he could send me a couple of blanks. And this is one of the two blanks that he sent me. This one is called Wildflowers. It's a beautiful blank. It's Inlace Acrylester. And tonight we're going to turn this and we're going to use a chrome Manhattan kit. And I think it's going to make a very striking pin. The pin kit I'm going to be using today is called the Manhattan, and it's from Rockler. You can go to their website, type in Chrome Manhattan, and this kit will come right up if you're interested. The blank is called Wildflower, and this is a Penn State part number. Now, I don't know if that's where Cody got this blank or not, but I do recognize that part number from the Penn State catalog. The tubes in the Manhattan do not come scuffed up, so you're going to have to scuff them yourself. I just grab them between two fingers, and I swirl them on sandpaper, and as I do, I roll them forward and just keep rotating the brass tube until I get it nice and scuffed up. That'll really help the glue stick to this tube. Go ahead and get our blank marked, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit. I always like to add a little bit extra when I do these blanks, just in case there's any blowout. And quite honestly, what I think I'm going to do with this blank, I think we're going to take this one straight to the drill press. I think I'm going to drill it first, and I'll drill just past this line. Then I'll take it to the bandsaw and cut it off. And what that'll do is that will totally eliminate any possibility of blowout. In an effort to avoid blowout, I'm going to drill this blank before I cut it to length on the bandsaw. I've taken the tube from the kit and I've laid it against the drill bit. I left a little over a 1/16 of an inch below the bottom of the tube, and I've put a tape flag on my bit. When I get to the tape, I know to stop. With my blank pre-drilled, I brought it over to the bandsaw. I took my tube and I went ahead and re-measured the amount of material that I need to cut for the blank, and I'm going to be saving about 1/8 of an inch. We did a great job measuring this out because you can see just how close we were. You see where the drill bit ended, and as you take a look at the front half of the blank, you can see the hole is perfect all the way through. We'll insert our tube. I'll make it flush with this end. And you can see that there's a little bit of overhang there, which is not a problem. We'll center the tube at glue up and we'll be able to sand that right off, and we'll have a really nice blank. This blank, being Inlaced Acrylester, is a little tougher in my opinion to turn than a lot of other acrylic blanks, and this one could especially prove difficult because as I was taking the corners off on the sander, I got a little tight on a couple of sides, and you can see that I'm really close to the bushing. So that means I've got this large piece sticking out here that's got to come around and be cut off to get the blank down to where I can true up the short side. And anytime you've got a big piece like that sticking out and you're hitting it with a tool, there's an opportunity that you might knock a big chip out of the blank. So I'm going to go sharpen my roughing gouge, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go very slow and very careful in an attempt to true this blank. I want it to stop because this is what I was referring to. I don't know how well you can see this in the video, but see how it's kind of got these little divots in it, because I'm hitting that part that is sticking out, it's more tearing the material than cutting it. I'm really nervous about that. I just don't want to do that below the surface. If I can get it trued up to be able to turn that away and still have enough meat left to turn that away, we'll be okay. Otherwise, I'm just a little nervous about this blank. Once I got the blank trued up, it leaned out really nicely, and as I'm looking across the blank, I don't have any of those little chip out sections. Really looks nice. I'm going to go ahead now and get set up to do my micro mesh pads, and I think this blank is going to turn out really, really nice. You know what? As I feel this, I can feel a little lip here that I don't feel on this side. I think I'm going to spin it just a tiny bit more. It always makes me nervous doing this, but I got to get rid of that little lip. That's much better. I didn't do any damage, but I got rid of the lip, which means I'm going to get a nice tight fit against my pin parts. And it feels smooth across the top. I don't feel any tooling marks. We're ready for micro mesh. That turned out extremely beautiful. Just take a look at that blank. It really shines. No chips in it, none that I can see anyway. Looks beautiful. Let me get the buffing wheel on my lathe and we'll go ahead and buff this blank up. I'm going to start out with the clip for this Manhattan kit, and I'm looking for the least visually interesting part of the blank, and I really think it's going to be right down this large section of white. Let's kind of break that up and keep the greens, blues, and purples in the visual pattern. Go ahead and slide this into here. Looks like I'm going to have to, there we go, lose one more of the little slides. Get her straight there. Okay. Now let me adjust this before I start pressing. There we go. I don't want to cover any of the colors. There we are. I had a little nervous with that one. Bring it up to the camera here and you can see I've got a super nice transition there. Really like that no chip. You can tell there are no chip outs, no scratches. So the blank actually finished up really nice. It was a rocky start, but it finally came together. On these Manhattans, I haven't noticed any difference in size on either end of the spring, so I don't worry too much about them. I just go ahead and slide them onto the refill. I'll pop the refill into the nib, thread the transmission on, check the action. Very nice. As always, the Manhattans have proven to be a very nice kit. And there we have it. When you're looking at the clip, there's not a lot to see, but when you flip it around, it gets very interesting visually. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found the turning of this Acrylester blank interesting and maybe informative. These blanks can be a bit touchy to turn. I do recommend sanding the corners off. Just don't get as aggressive as I did. I made myself real nervous there for a few minutes. But overall, I really like the pen. It's gorgeous. I love these Manhattan kits. They're proven to be awesome kits. With that, I would like to thank you for joining me in the shop tonight. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon. Have a great evening, everybody.